Welcome to Learning Reaper. I'm your host, X.E.L.O. And today, this is a long overdue video. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. This is for REEQ. Don't get it confused with the REA EQ that's actually inside of Reaper. This one is actually made by a user, and they actually have a really cool EQ. Reminds me of the Pro EQ. All those familiar with the Pro EQ will kind of recognize it. I've been using it for a very long time, and there's many other videos out there showing and explaining how to actually use it, but I didn't have one on my channel, so here you go. So let's go and take a look at the site and show you where it's at, and then we can go into the DAW and show you how it actually works. Let's go. All right, so here we are on the Reaper website, and big shout out to Nitsu, who actually created this. And this is what it kind of looks like. He has a whole bunch of different things on here to tell you how to actually use it. So if you want to actually go through the details of the actual REEQ, all of it is right here on the page. And I believe, yeah, so there should be some instructions of how to get it. So you can do it from the repository and add it to ReaPack in order to do that. If you're not sure how to actually use ReaPack and how to do it, you can definitely go back to my video showing you how to install ReaPack and SWS, and that should help you out in getting this set up inside of Reaper. All right, and if you didn't know, he's actually giving this away for free. So if you do want to donate, definitely donate. It looks like he has his PayPal right here. Definitely donate if you have that option to do it. Do so. Well deserved. Very good plugin. So let's get into the DAW and show you how to actually use it. All right, so here we are in Reaper, and the theme that I'm using is called Reaper Tips. If you do want your Reaper to actually look and function like my Reaper, I do have a reconfiguration file on my website, and that's going to be xelohh.com. You can go there and download that reconfiguration file for a small price. I also have other Reaper things on this channel. If you need mixing or mastering, anything like that, it is actually on the website as well, and that is xelohh.com. All right, so we're just going to kind of find a sample, and then we're going to go from there and just kind of show you how the EQ works. All right, so we're going to run with this sample just to kind of have something in here. It looks like. All right, so just a little sample that I've added in here just to kind of give it some kind of context. So let's pull up the REEQ. All right, I have it automatically set up to set up a REEQ. If you hold down Alt and hit E on the keyboard, that'll bring up the REEQ. And this is what it looks like. It does give you an option to make it bigger or smaller if you wanted to. So you have the option to stretch it out or make it smaller. Really versatile EQ. Right, I'm gonna go to the default, and as you see, it comes with nothing on there. So if you want to add a note, you can just double click anywhere in here and you can add a node, and this will actually start it off, and you'll be able to move it around. And as you can see, as you go through the spectrums, it'll change colors, which is really cool to kind of know where you are inside of the spectrum itself. Right, so these are more of like your mids, right? These are your basses. More toward the highs is getting more greenish, yellowish. So you kind of know exactly where you are on the grid. So really cool. So now that you have a node up here, you can kind of see where it's at. It's telling you the information is 323 Hertz, right? It's giving you the dB, 4 dBs of high, and even your Q is on here. So if you hold, if you do your mouse wheel, you can actually shrink your Q. Your Q is this little thing right here, but you can actually do it just by using the scroll on your mouse, right? And it'll give you an option to expand or retract that Q. I thought that was always really cool. If you right click on the node, it'll give you an option to disable it. You can invert the gain. So let's say you know like where that frequency is, like you're doing vocals, you can just invert the gain and it'll bring it down instead of bringing it up. So really cool option right there really quick to kind of set that up. You can set it back to 0 gain. You can do your shapes. So you have peaks, lows, highs, notches, even have a tilt shelf, which is really cool. So if you have a tilt shelf like this, so if you know that, say your sound, you don't want all the bass in there, you can kind of have this tilt shelf in there and kind of increase your like highs and then kind of decrease on your lows. So either way you want to do it, I thought this was really, really cool that they actually had that feature in there as well, right? But I'm just going to put it back on peak. That's what else is in here. So it also gives you the option to change from your stereo to mid to side. There's not that many EQs that actually give you all that, and also give you a left and a right as well. So you can change this to mid and side. What's really, really cool is this option to split, right? So if I split this, now I have my mid and my side. I can move these around and kind of change them around. So like if I know that I want, these are your sides. As you can see, it has a left and a right on there. So these are left and right. So this is your sides and this is your mids and your stereo, right? So like you can move these around. So like if you have this area and you're like, man, yo, I don't like the way it feels in the middle, you can change that from splitting the EQ, and then you can also change it for your side. Super, super dope. I thought that was really, really cool that they gave you that option to do that. Right, you have an option to duplicate the actual area that you have, and I guess this would be good if you're trying to do like just a mid and the side and you kind of want to just use it just for a particular kind of area. And you have an option to delete, so you can delete that if you want to delete it. And let's put this back and put it on stereo. So now that one is a whole stereo once again. So let's say you wanted to listen to this area. If you hold down shift on your keyboard, as you can see, it brings a line around it to kind of give you the area that you actually are doing. So if you want to bring it in, you can bring in your scroll with the mouse wheel to bring in that Q, and it'll give you a sharper frequency. So if I play the sample, let's say I want to just play the lower part of it, I can just play just the part that is actually being affected by this EQ, right? And I can raise it up and just hear just what that little area is going to be about. So I thought that was really, really cool that you have that option to do that. Let me turn off this metronome. So let's kind of look at some of the other features that you have on here. So this little box here is always really cool. This is the panel. As you can see, is lit up here, this panel. So if I do this, it'll remove it from it, so you don't have the panel. That's if you want to have that on there or not. It's all up to you kind of thing. I like it on there so I can kind of see what's going on. But let's look at the panel and see what it's about. So you can bypass right from here. So as you can see, it turned it off and the line went flat, right? You have your option for your peaks and your lows and stuff, just like you did if you right clicked on it, which I always thought was really cool. So here's your stereo. You have your option for your mid, side, left, and right. This is for your frequencies. So if you want to change your frequency here, you can use the knob here to do that. If you want to change your gain, you can do that here as well. And here's your Q, so you can make it bigger or tighter. And here's that listening option that you have. So you can even leave it on with this. I like this one a little bit better. So I can kind of leave it on and it's not holding down shift to do it. And I can just move this around and listen to those areas that I want to listen to. So I thought that was always really cool. And you also have the option to delete, and you can delete the node if you want to on there, right? So let's kind of go down here to the bottom. These are a lot of the things that we have to work with. So here is the high quality. So basically they have an economy version where it has a fast and no latency. So basically that means that you're able to do any of your editing without actually having to mess with any kind of latency. A higher quality of sound when you're actually using it with this, so it's more accurate when you're actually listening and moving things around. At least that's what I pick up from it, right? You have your mid and your side, so you can do your mid and side, or your left and right. So you can make everything in here just mid and side, or you can make everything in here left and right. I thought that was pretty cool as well. This is for if you had, let's say we did a node here, right? And we liked where this was, or we didn't necessarily like where it was, and we wanted to make it lower or higher. You can go right here to this 100%, and you can actually increase it, and you can do it for all the nodes. So let's say, let's put it back to 100 if I can. All right, so it's back on 100. So let's say we do another node. So, and if you click anywhere, you can just kind of make a whole bunch of different nodes anywhere you want to. I always thought that part of it was really cool. So let's say that we did too much here, right? And we wanted to kind of lower down what we did with the EQ. You can click on here and drag down. And as you see, it'll shrink down those EQs without actually having to do each one individually. I thought that was really, really cool that they have that option in there as well. And this is for your dBs, so you can actually lower down the dBs of the actual sample or MIDI, whatever is actually attached to it. So if I'm playing this, right, and I wanted to bring this down, I can bring down the dBs of the actual sample without actually going to the volume over here and doing it over there. I thought that was really cool as well. I do wish there was a way to kind of reset the numbers a little bit easier, but it is what it is, right? So let's say you're doing your mids and sides. You can actually do it for your dBs as well for your mids and sides. So this one is the mid, this one is your side. And this little button here is for phasing. So if you have phasing issues or you have a noise that kind of is in the mid section and you want to change it by the dBs, you can actually do a phase for that mid side to fix the phasing of the actual EQ. I thought that was really dope. This one is the mid and this one is the sides, and you have your phasing option right here with this button, right? So we have a limiter on here. So like if you know that you're going to be cranking up the EQ, you can also put a limiter on it so it doesn't completely fry your speakers or anything like that. And this last one here is automatic gain control. So if you have changes into your mix, it'll automatically match the gain for the EQ itself. So I thought this was a really, really cool tool. You also have option for settings up here. I don't usually touch these. You can change like your spectrum, whichever one you want to set it to. So the spectrum will show exactly what you have it. I have it on the mid and the side. You can do a displays. You can do a line instead of just doing the fill. So you can do a line and then you can see the lines that it's doing. I'm more of a full guy. I kind of like the full look on there. So tilt, I haven't really messed with these to kind of see exactly what they do, but I believe this is the octaves that you kind of can have inside here, right? The Windows type, that this hasn't really changed much for me either. I'm not 100% sure what these actually do. The size of the scale, and you have a display for the pre-EQ. You can have it on or off. But like I said, I don't really mess with the settings. I kind of just use the EQ as it is. Like I said, it's a very powerful EQ. If you haven't already, I highly suggest to download it, check it out, see what it actually does, how it actually helps your workflow inside of Reaper. I think it's been very beneficial for me. It is the only EQ that I actually use inside of Reaper, just to be honest. It just works. I don't have to worry about where I'm putting nodes. I can just put stuff anywhere I want to. Let's say if I go down to this end, it'll do bass notes, right? So I can get an option to curve off like a lot of the bass. So let's say I wanted to do, let's say we wanted to change the slope, right? And I wanted it to be like a 30 dB. As you can see, it'll drop it off. And what I didn't know is that you can actually do what's called a Buttersworth, where it'll kind of cut it really, really sharp. This is almost like a brick wall limiter right here. So this is what I would use if I'm trying to use like that brick wall limiter kind of feel. I didn't know it had it in here until kind of recently. because I was asking the maker to give us a brick wall limiter, but I mean, it was already in here and I didn't even know it. So these are the kind of things that you actually get with this tool, which I thought was really, really cool. That you actually get that option to kind of see all these things in here, and you get to change them to whatever you kind of want to. You could do like your low shelves, you know, and high shelves, all those good things all in here. Really easy to use and manipulate. All right, and if you didn't know that you can actually use these inside of Reaper and have them inside of your mixer or even inside of your track view. So if I right click on here and I do this for the TCP, now I have my REEQ inside of here. So now I can see it inside of my track panel. I thought that was really cool. And if I wanted to see it, it'll pull it from here and actually pull it out into the bigger version if you have that open, right? So now you can have it in here. If I wanted to add a node, I could still add a node, right? I could still move stuff around and manipulate the sound right here inside of the track view. I thought that was really cool. And you can also do it in this area down here. If you wanted to do that, you just right click and you go to the MPC, which is the mixer panel, right? And as you see, it's right here, and I can close this. And now I have my EQ in here, and I can double click in here and still add nodes and move things around and do what I want to do with that. So really, really cool, really, really efficient. Like I said, I hope this really helps you guys out a lot. And with that being said, that's pretty much the end of this one. I'm going to try to go over some more tools that I actually use inside of Reaper and show you guys exactly how I'm using it. But yeah. And once again, I want to thank you guys for watching, learning Reaper. Until next time, people. Peace.
Hey, you. Yes, you. YouTube wants you to watch this video next, man. Go ahead and click it. I'll wait. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not going to keep waiting here. All right. I will see you in the next video, though. Peace.